What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to your film takes. Well, it's that time again, you guys. It's a movie news time. There's a couple things I really want to discuss. I'm excited about a couple new films in the works, a couple updates in regards to some movies being worked on, and also some movies being moved around again, shifted again, and then just the stuff in regards to just the theaters in general. So with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Now, the first thing, of course, I said movie theaters. Basically, every time I talk about movie news, I try to start with that because it kind of gives me a segue to go into all the shifting of certain movies. And I will be getting into that in a second. The whole thing with two major movie theater chains, one being AMC and the other being Regal. As you clearly know, AMC, of course, is open. They're trying to kind of get people to come back. I discuss how they're trying to do little things, incentives in regards to, streaming, things of that nature. I don't know if they're going to be putting certain movies out that might be, say, for instance, oldies but goodies, whichever, because clearly nothing is really playing at the theaters. I know there's a most recent movie that came out. I cannot remember the title for life of me. I might put the poster up here, starring Robert De Niro, that was out. I know some people are kind of excited just to go see something, but it's just still not what we're used to in regards to all the theaters open, all types of different movies out, to enjoy. The holidays are right around the corner, literally, because November is literally around the corner. And it's about that time when they really kind of amp up, a lot of stuff is going to be released. Besides that, one movie in case of point, now, like I said, I'm going to get into a lot of the movies that have been shifted to next year and some the following year. One of the ones that they're definitely, I heard, is being moved is the James Bond film, No Time to Die. So I think with that being said, I think Regal, from what I'm hearing, has decided to just go ahead and remain closed, indefinitely for the moment. We're not going to be seeing anything at their theater chain. I'm bummed because I will admit that's the one I normally go to, which is the ones, I have two of them that are close to me that I can go to, and that's the one I always choose to use when I watch any of the movies I actually, discuss. So I was kind of bummed to hear that, but in some ways I'm not surprised. We are still, of course, dealing with the pandemic. This COVID situation is not going anywhere anytime soon. And honestly, like I've stated multiple times, I'd rather us be safe than sorry and staying at home. I know some theater, chains and also even movie companies are not wanting to do it where they just straight put stuff out through streaming on demand, whatever. They're trying to see if they can recoup their money. Case in point, Christopher Nolan did release Tenet, and it looks like on the U.S. side, I think it's made like somewhere between 40 and 50 million. Internationally, it's made over 300, but it's still not recouping enough that I feel like they're doing really good with the film. I know that film made, in regards to how much in the budget, over 200 million in the budget. So if they made that, say, here, and then that over there international with 300, maybe I feel like, okay, they kind of balanced out a little bit, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a good movie, but a lot of people ain't trying to mess with their lives to go out and see this movie. Some people did, but not a lot, and not enough to see that you see clearly didn't sway the numbers and what they were expecting to make on the U.S. side. And it's unfortunate. I feel like when it does come out on DVD, hopefully it will make up for that a little bit, but I mean, it was one of those ones I really want to see, but not to the point where I would really want to go out and venture out, whichever, to go to the theaters. I've already kind of told you the ones that I'm really itching to see, and one of those being like Wonder Woman or even Dune. Those would be the two for the rest of this year. I would really consider going out and how early I can go to see it in as early as possible, not late in the day, whatever, with too many people around. I just don't want a lot of people around me. The paranoia was really real about being around too many people dealing in regards to our situation right now. So it's going to be really interesting. AMC is just trying their best, and I know a lot of people with them talking about flowing out there possibly a vaccine. That won't be until next year anyway, and some people knowing them might decide if they don't even want to be bothered taking it, or someone want to take it before you even consider going into the theaters, because we're in close proximity to too many people. We can gauge it when we're out and about. Say, for instance, some people deal in restaurants, I know some places are doing the drive-in where people are literally in their cars, you feel most safe because you're in your own space. But if you're in a theater, I don't care if there is a seat extra, whichever, the fact is the person's still kind of close, because when we're sitting together, it's rather damn tight. Some people's arms will be on your armrest. It just is what it is. So it's going to be just really interesting how this all plays out. As to me still deciding on what I'm going to do right now, it still looks like Christmas Day is still set for Wonder Woman. So let me get into the ones that I want to discuss that have been shifted. I'm just going to read them down the road, whichever, with all the pictures of all said actual movies. I already stated, and let's just start with for the stuff for 2021. No Time to Die has been moved, so it will not be coming out in November. It will be coming out April 2nd, 2021. Then also with Fast and the Furious F9, you already know they are coming out May 28th, 2021. Dune now, of course, will not be coming out December 18th. They have been moved now as well. I was bummed to hear that, but they are. They will be October 1st, 2021. It looks like another shift has happened as well. Of course, right now it looks like Black Adam will be coming out December 22nd, 2021. They, of course, and has competition. Let me just note that. The Matrix 4 will be coming out December 22nd as well, 2021. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, one that I was interested to see that's getting moved, even though we were, had been talking about for over a year, is the Batman. Now, that was supposed to come out October of 2021. Now, it's being moved to March 4th, 2022. So we have a ways now before we will be seeing that for sure. That gives them ample time fully now on the movie to get that baby ready, and just, every aspect of that movie should be straight damn near epic. So it is what it is. Jurassic World 3, that will be coming out June 10th, 2022. The Flash has been moved to November 4th, 2022. And then the last one has been really pushed back is Shazam to June 2nd, 2023. DCEU did some shifting, something terrible. So it is what it is. It's just really going to be interesting because there's really nothing honestly left to kind of really say a lot of people want to be enjoying in the theaters. I did say I think Coming America 2 so far is still slated to come out this year. I feel like they might end up moving that, but if they don't, a lot of it won't have any competition, so it's a possibility they might leave it alone, come out around, the month it's supposed to. But Wonder Woman's all by her lonesome, so if people really want to come out on Christmas Day and feel like it, then they might do really good, whatever. But like I said, a lot of people, the anxiety or just, of thinking about going, and then how many people are going to be thinking like you. Are people going to want to come out? Some people, I say, can come out midday. If I was to do it, I would do it like whatever, 10 o'clock, 10:30 show, whatever, and all that. But some people might think like me. So you just don't know. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. I'm just not sure even if I'm going to do this or if I'm just going to wait. But to say, even though they're moving these things to next year, it still doesn't make a lot of people feel very comfortable or safe with that. So we just don't know how people truly are going to feel about going out. I do miss the theater, but like I state all the time, I'm all, encompassed with people being more protective about their health, down to friends and family. Just protect yourselves, guys. As much as we want to be in the movies, it's not that daggone deep. If we have to watch them at home, then so be it. It is what it is. So moving on from that. Now, getting into a little bit of Marvel, I'm excited about this one. This has to do with Doctor Strange 2. Of course, this being with, Benedict Cumberbatch being at the helm. I loved the first one. I'm excited for this one. I'm looking forward to seeing Chiwetel Ejiofor coming back, and also Benedict Wong as well. And just the fact that we're getting, a little bit of insight that the fact that they're going to finally start filming very shortly. It's supposed to be either the end of October, beginning of November. Yay. Also, the fact that director Sam Raimi is at the helm. I'm so hyped about that. Just so hyped. So just wanting to know also who is going to be the main villain in this. I talked about this briefly last year. They're not giving anything really away right now about that, but now that we're getting ready to start filming, hopefully we'll get a little bit more information very soon. I know that with the character Chiwetel Ejiofor in the original first one, it was a lot of, just not a lot of bad blood between the two of the characters, him not liking, a little bit of a shift and change and the way Doctor Strange was going about certain things, So it's going to be really interesting how he comes back into this and how, they fare together. Or they're going to get into a spar. He could be considered another villain against Doctor Strange. You just never know. I'm definitely looking forward to action. I know also Elizabeth Olsen will be in this as well. Excuse me, I didn't want to forget about her. So it's a lot to be said that's going to open this up, especially with her being, and of course, dealing, with WandaVision and all that. So that's why I'm exactly, beyond hype to see what they're going to do. And I look forward to watching the first one again prior to this one actually, coming about. Now, the date is March 25th, 2022. So to know that they're working on it starting, like I said, late October, early November. I mean, a long time. We have all next year. Everything for that movie should be magnificent. I mean, it's under Marvel, Sam Raimi at the helm. I'm not worried about that one bit. I feel like I'm just going to be beyond happy, and I really pray by then if theaters are up and cranking, because I really would prefer truly to see this one in the theater. So I'm going to keep definitely my tabs, like I said, about who else is going to be in this film, exactly who will be the actual daggone villain, because I need more information. So like I stated, when I know more, you all know more. So moving on from that one. Now this one, of course, dealing with some more movie update. This has to do with a movie I talked about briefly about a year or so ago. And this, of course, will be a movie called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I'm excited for this one because I already knew at the helm of this was Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. Now, of course, we all know what happened most recently with Chadwick Boseman passing because of, dealing with some health issues in regards to stage 4 cancer. Rest in peace. I am happy that we get to see him in his final movie. This also is being produced under Denzel Washington, so I was really hyped about that. This will be definitely seen on Netflix. Also in the cast on this one, we have, what's his name? Glenn Turman. Fan of some of his work. And what's the other gentleman's name? I didn't know. Let me see. Coleman Domingo. I've seen him off and on a couple of things as well over the years. So definitely more people, but definitely those key characters, and actors right there. It just makes for a good cast right there off the cuff. I'm looking forward to this one just so much. This, of course, based off of a play. And let me just see if it kind of goes into a little bit of an adaptation, because I just really want to kind of just bring that up into person. Yes, here we go. Now it says it centers on the band for legendary blues artist Ma Rainey, played by Davis. And it says as they wait for her to arrive for their recording session, it says Boseman plays the trumpet player Levy, who has his own goals and ambitions. Even before, the past whatever and all that, they were saying, this is considered, definitely has some Oscar buzz. So it's going to be interesting. It looks like it's all going to be in a focal point, of course, in a recording session. So all these characters, seeing most of the actual film will be probably set in that, actual, space. So it's going to be really interesting. And then seeing Viola Davis, harmonizing, singing, whatever, it's going to be really interesting, because I've never seen her, really in that, particular, actor character. Like, he's always definitely other things, definitely of course in the drama aspect, which we're gonna probably definitely get in that as well. And then seeing Chadwick, just he's so versatile, him of course, when he did Get On Up, playing James Brown, whatever, and then playing Triple Play, is gonna be really interesting that he he really definitely gets involved and gets definitely into his all encompassing this character. So I'm going to really enjoy seeing him in his final role. It's gonna be interesting if they did any type of we'll probably get some back, behind the scenes, in regards to this, because of course, now when they go around shop and talk about the film and do any type of, interviews, we won't be able to hear from, but they'll of course be able to speak on him and, him in his, midst of his, role and what he was doing, and, how, he brought it to life. Same thing, probably Denzel will probably just, discuss it a little bit as well. Just so bummed just thinking about it that, like I said, he's no longer here. It's just so sad, because he was just getting started, that work was just building, and he has so much to offer. And just, I'm glad we do have a body of work from him that we can really enjoy, but I just feel like, this one probably will get me a little sad, because like I stated, it is his last and final, role that he was actually working on. So, but yes, I look forward to this. It doesn't state a date yet. Like I said, it says Netflix, so hopefully sometime, if not this year, maybe early next year, maybe January, February. I'm feeling like more so February than anything. That would be nice, and I look forward to seeing this actual film. So, moving on from that. Now, this one, definitely doing with a sequel, and I remember seeing the original first one, and this has to do with Tomb Raider. Now, of course, when I think about Tomb Raider, the actual film, the first one, gosh, when did it come out? I want to say, is it 2001 with Angelina Jolie? I talked about how I enjoyed her in the first one. The second one was, all good, whichever. But yes, when they did the remake, that one came out 2018, and this had to star, I want to say, Alicia Vikander. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly, excuse me. I enjoyed that one. I will say this, a little bit of storyline was kind of, lackluster, like it didn't flush out too much, but I feel like it was just kind of setting it up for what they can do in the second one. Now, you're hearing that they are in the works to do a, continuation of the story with her character, Laura Croft. I'm excited about that, and I feel like Alicia does something when I see a little partly of her, resemblance with the game. Is doable, even though Angelina did knock it out of the park with her stuff, especially her action scenes. Now, she did speak recently about it. Let me get into that. She says the plan was for us to start making one this year. She says, of course, due to the pandemic situation, that's now very different. We're still in discussions about it, so I hope we can probably get it get to it next year. So it's looking like definitely nothing this year. So hopefully next year, going into spring, they'll kind of get it up off, the ground and start working on the sequel. Maybe meaning, if not 2021, for it to come out going into 2022. So I'm also looking forward to seeing who else will be in this one. I want to say Walton Goggins was in the one she did in 2018. I enjoyed his character. He, like I said in a recent trailer reaction, he plays evil real good. He's always, most of the time, playing a villain. So I really, he got what he deserved, but I really did enjoy him. So I want to know who's going to be the big bad in this one. There was a lot that was left on the table in regards to the way it was ending, because it was a little bit of a reveal with somebody being involved with something that had to do with her, her father, being gone for so long, her thinking he was dead in the scene. So if you hadn't seen the 2018 one, I'm sorry, didn't mean to spoil it for you a little bit, but I like how it was left open, how certain things are not what they appear to be, with Laura Croft dealing with certain individuals close to her. As they say, keep your enemies close. So I really want them to flush that out in this second installment. That would be good. I am totally here for that. So I'm going to keep my tabs on this one for sure. As I always say, when I know more, you all will know more. So moving on from that. Now this one was not expecting this. I'm intrigued to see how this is going to happen. This has to do with, of course, Spider-Man 3. Of course, already starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Marissa Tomei. But now it looks like somebody who's going to be coming back to play a particular character, and that's Jamie Foxx, who's going to be playing Electro. Now, I was really surprised because he actually did the one that came out in 2014. I want to say it was a Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield. And actually, I did like his character overall, but I just felt like when they did the trailers for it and they kept showing so much of it, it did leave a lot to be desired to watch the actual movie, because they gave so much of it throughout all these small little parts of the actual trailer. And I didn't have anything to get excited about, whichever, but I will say this, I like the way Jamie portrayed Electro, so I'm curious to see how he's going to be portrayed in this one, how his suit's going to look. And it's interesting because he, did discuss it. He kind of put it out there with a tweet. I'll kind of try to post it up here somewhere. Just kind of discussing, it. So basically, he put the cat out of the bag, and that's fine. Nobody else has confirmed it, but he did confirm it. Nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. And I guess some people probably hype because they want to see how he's going to intertwine with this one, being that he was in the one that was from 2014. So it's going to be very interesting. It looks like right now he's going to be probably considered the main villain. Here for that. Definitely looking forward to seeing how this is going to pair up with the storyline, because I didn't know if he's going to be the main villain, or will we get more than one villain in this particular one for the third installment. That will be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, Tom's character, how he's, going to fare with that. Also, just seeing a little bit of him more with MJ, just kind of getting back into, you all saw the, the second installment he did. So I don't know, what to think. I'm just like, okay, didn't see that coming, and him being, of course, already a part of Marvel when he did that anyway. So that's going to be really interesting, him being, a part of that, because Jamie is very versatile in a lot of roles he picks up. I love that, I recently watched him in, of course, he did Just Mercy, and then also Project Power, which I really did enjoy, which was on Netflix. So, and I think he has a movie he recently directed. Plus, I'm really looking forward to him doing kind of like a biographic, film. I'm not sure who it's going to be under, but definitely, of course, for Mike Tyson, and I'm just here for that one. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one now. For when this comes out, Spider-Man 3, Homecoming 3, excuse me, December 17, 2021, well over a year. I figure most likely they will start production maybe sometime later this year, going to early next year. Don't have anything stating exactly when production starts. Figure definitely sometime soon, probably after the holidays. Looking forward to that. So yes, I'm excited to see him, get in there, and I'm hoping we get a couple pictures showing from the set. That would be really nice to see. I know probably some of the other main characters on there probably might be hyped to see, him on set as well. So yeah, fun times with that one. So I'm definitely gonna keep my tabs on this one. So moving on that. Now this one, going into Reboot. This is the only reboot I'm gonna be discussing. It seems like every now and then I talk about too many reboots, but this one, I wasn't expecting us to be dealing with a reboot for this so soon, but I know some people might be happy about this, being that this will be more focused on the actual origin of it, and also because of the game, and it has to do with Resident Evil. I was surprised by that. Nothing wrong with that. I am a fan of the ones that were starring Mila Jovovich, her husband directed them, Paul W.S. Anderson. They started, what was it, 2002, and the last one I saw was in 2016 that she did the Resident Evil final chapter. I am a fan of Mila Jovovich, so I probably have a little bit of a soft spot. I will say the first couple of them I really did enjoy. And then you will kind of say it kind of tinkered off in regards to overall storyline. A lot of people probably weren't feeling them. You can do all the action you want in the world, and a lot of people feel like, if it's not based on anything close to the original origin or story and all that, they kind of feel like after a while it kind of fizzles out. So being that they're getting ready to, move it around and do a reboot, it's going to be interesting. Now, I will say this. I noted all the cast members on this one. I'm actually excited about this cast on this one. So let's go ahead and go through the names, and I'll put their faces up here. Claire Redfield will be played by Kaya Sodelario. I don't want to say her name correctly. My apologies. Jill Valentine will be played by Hannah John Coleman. I'm so excited about her. Chris Redfield will be played by Robbie Amell. Albert Wesker will be played by Tom Harper. Love me some him. Leon Kennedy will be played by Avon Jogia. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. And then William Birkin will be played by Neil McDonough. And I'm happy about that because I'm a fan of all of them. I've seen them all in so many different types of work, whichever. So I'm fully familiar with all these particular actors. So that's a nice little cast there. I'm here for that. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be directed by Johannes Roberts. He's a British director. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring there because I think he did, was it 47 Meters Down? Yes. And God, I haven't seen it in a while, but yes, it was a good movie. I enjoyed that. So I'm here for it. I'm here for this. I'm going to keep tabs on this for certain. I'm looking forward to seeing when they're going to start production with this. This is just all brand new information, but probably a lot of people are probably hyped about this one because I think they stated this will be more along the lines of the origin story. So that definitely plays a part in getting people kind of hyped and excited to actually, give this one a chance to see if they're going to actually enjoy this one. And I'm hoping that is the case. I'm down for it. I'm ready to see some action and all that. And yeah, because Kaya, I did enjoy some most recent work she's done. I'm already a fan of Tom Harper. Just going back to Spartacus. I mean, yeah. So I'm just, not Spartacus. What's the other one? He wasn't. Oh my God, I got him confused. Black Sails. Excuse me. So yes, I'm just here for this cast. I'm here for the potential this being really, really good. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely, like I said, when I know more, you all know more, and hopefully it will, get a date for when they expect this to be out. I don't foresee 2021. I could be wrong, but I don't. I feel like this will be something that most likely might come out in 2022. So I will definitely keep tabs on the actual date on that. Now, this was something I'm getting into films in the works. I'm excited about this one because the directors are behind this one and the overall story premise of this. And this has to do with the director, Reed Morano. And actually, the scriptwriter on this will be Charlie Kaufman. Now, Reed Morano, she actually directed a pilot for the Handmaid's Tale. Here for that. Also, with Kaufman, he actually has had his hand in a couple of things. And that is, Being John Malkovich, excuse me. And then also Eternal Sunshine of this, Spotless Mind. I cannot even get the full title out. It's been a while since I've watched that. Those two coming together to work on this movie, and it's titled The Memory Police. Now, this is based off of a novel that was written in '94 by a Japanese author titled, I want to say, Yoko Ogawa. I hope I'm saying his full name correctly. My apologies. And let's get into the synopsis of this one. It says, this is definitely going to be a film adaptation, of course. And it says, The Memory Police is a dystopian science fiction novel about a small island in Japan that is under control of the memory police. It says the inhabitants of the island are being affected by some unknown force, causing people to constantly forget about certain objects like hats and perfumes. Very interesting. As also says, however, some do remember these things, and the memory police begin removing those who remember from the island. So I was just like, okay, that's very intriguing. Something totally different. I'm looking forward to seeing who will be cast. This will be shown through Amazon Studios. Sorry about that. I already have Amazon, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Looking forward to definitely seeing who will be cast on this. That will definitely play a factor. But this overall premise of the actual, film, hence through the novel, up my alley. I love all types of films, whichever, and definitely when some of them are based off of novels and they're made into films. If they do a good enough job, you can't always fit everything in it, but hopefully they'll keep most of the storyline close to home with the novel. That makes a difference. So I look forward to seeing some other people's comments if they've read the novel. That will be very interesting. If somebody comes in here and says something to me about that, if they really enjoyed it, they might kind of side eye, but it is what it is. When some people read, they really enjoy the book more than the movie. And there's nothing wrong with that. I respect that. So, but I'm definitely excited about Reed Morano being at the helm of this as directing it. That is a feat right there. Love it. Love it when I get more female directors. I'm just here for that stuff. So, yes, I'm going to keep tabs on this. Like I said, when I find out who's the cast on this, what date we're getting for this, we don't have that. We just know it's definitely going to be through Amazon Studios. So, that definitely has me intrigued. And I most definitely plan to watch this. So, again, when I know more, you all will know more. So, moving on from that. Now, this is another new film that's in the works I'm excited for because I love the cast on this one. And this has to do with a movie that's going to be titled Spiderhead. It's going to be starring Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, and Journey Smollett. And right there is enough for me. Off the cuff, I'm already excited and enjoying. I mean, of course, Chris Hemsworth. I recently, of course, enjoyed him in the movie Extraction. I'm looking forward to him being in the 4th installment of Thor. Miles Teller already has lined up for him. Of course, Top Gun Maverick, here for that. And Journey Smollett, she is on one of my favorite shows that is out right now. 2 episodes left, and it's Lovecraft Country. I'm just like loving her as Letty. She is just bringing it. Just a fierce character on that show. So this already just, I'm ready to know more. So let me go through the synopsis real quick. A Spiderhead is set to in the near future when convicts are offered the chance to volunteer as medical subjects in hopes of shortening their sentences. It says the focus is on 2 prisoners who become the test patients for emotion-altering drugs that force the prisoners to grapple with their past in a facility run by a brilliant visionary who supervises the program. Now, I'm not sure who the 2 prisoners. I really want to feel like they could be Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller. I'm wondering where Journey Smollett falls into this, if she's going to be one of the people at the helm of these particular, subjects, being, used in this particular, situation. Yeah, it can go any way, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine for that. Yeah, this sounds pretty damn right up my alley for movies I love to watch, and I'm definitely getting a science fiction type of aspect from it. I feel like we're going to definitely get the action, sci-fi, drama on that. It's definitely some suspense. I'm here for that. The writer on this is Paul Wernick, and I'm just looking forward to him because I know he's done some good work in the past. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be really, really good. Keeping tabs. This is through Netflix. Chris Hemsworth was just definitely doing work with, the Extraction was through Netflix, so I can feel like he's trying to keep a good little, rapport with them, bringing in the stuff, whatever. And Netflix seems to pick out some good stuff to, add to, a long list of, these deals they be making for some good daggone movies. So, they're one of my streaming services. I enjoy a lot of the stuff that Netflix puts out. So, I'm here for that. I'm here to watch this. I'll keep my tabs on if anybody else is, of course, added to this. Definitely want to know a date. We don't have a date because I tried to note that and have nothing as of right now. I don't know when they're going to actually be starting production with this. Maybe this year, going to next year. And then just knowing if this is something that's coming out later this year, later 2021, or going into 2022. So again, when I know more, you all will know more. Now this is my last one, and this is definitely a film that I've been waiting to know was going to be in the works, and I'm hyped, and this has to do with Don't Breathe 2. I was so happy to hear that they actually are making it because, of course, if you all remember, Fede Alvarez, of course, at the helm, director. Of course, he first did Evil Dead, remake, which came out in 2013, starring Jane Levy. Loved the remake. I'm still a fan of the first one, and definitely the second one is my ultimate favorite. But the remake was done very, very well. Gore fest. I loved it. So after he did it, a couple years later, he did a movie called Don't Breathe. Saw the trailer, was definitely intrigued. It starred another actor I love, Stephen Lang. He's been in many things I loved. And just the overall premise was creepy, kind of like a home invasion in reverse, and not expecting what you're seeing. This blind man, is not what he appears to be. Definitely more sinister, and definitely a heightened sense, of sound without sight. People never think about that. When you have both of them, you never think, but when you have one, it's definitely more heightened. You can, do things and all that, and you have a better understanding or upper hand on a person, especially when you're in there, they're in your element. He was so creepy. So after the movie came out, it was a hit. I remember us wanting to know if he was going to make, another one. He was like, what do y'all want me to make? You want me to make another Evil Dead? Or you want me to do a Don't Breathe 2? And I was like this, I already know how Evil Dead rolls. I want another Don't Breathe 2. Because if you all watched the movie and you saw it, you were clearly wanting to know how that, after that ending, how this is going to turn out. Is Jane Levy's character going to come back? Is she going to want revenge? Whatever and all that. If you all haven't seen it, I'm sorry, I can't help you. He lived, and it just kind of left everything up in the air as to what can possibly happen. So to know, and I'm going to post a tweet up here where it shows him, saying he wrapped up his part on the movie. And it looks like it was filmed, and let me know, it said it was filmed in Belgrade, Serbia. So that was interesting as well. And of course, Fede Alvarez is not attached to this one. I was kind of surprised, but I didn't know that. But one of the co-writers on it, his name, who is actually doing this one, his name was Rodo Sayagayas. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. My apologies if I'm not. So I'm excited about that because he was already attached to the first one. So that gives me hope that it will definitely be good and just as sinister as the first one. Like I stated before, there's so many ways they can go with this one. Him, the blind man, played by Lang, will this be some sort of invasion, whichever, Jane Levy is not in this one. So this is, left up to interpretation of what you think this storyline could possibly be. He can be in another total different setting, being that he definitely has a military background, whatever, and it could be where he's utilizing what he knows or whatever to survive, and still being sinister at that. So that's possibly a way they can do it as opposed to going back to doing the same thing they did in the first one with the home invasion. So I'm hoping it's a little bit of shift in storyline a little bit, and him definitely utilizing his skill set, to get out of a situation that's not in his control, but he's able to control the narrative on his end. So I'm excited at that. I'm looking forward to seeing a trailer for this. I don't feel like this is coming out this year. Definitely gonna get this next year sometime. It would be nice to see this in the theater, but I'm fine with watching this at home. It's not even that deep, but I definitely want to see this one because this is one I've been wanting for a while. Because yeah, that means it come out to be 5 years later. Long overdue. Because I really thought he was gonna do one a year, 2 years later, so we would get one in 2018. But when he never did, Fede's working on other things, in his little arsenal there. So it's nothing. It's all good. I'm here for it. I'm excited. And knowing this, Lang is definitely back. It had to be. There's no way they could put anybody else in this one. He had to be the focal point if they were going to do a sequel to this one. So you guys, I'm here for it. I will keep tabs once I have a date. Who else is in cast in this one? So, and with that said, that is it. So as I always state, comment below. Let me know what you think about anything I discussed. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next movie news. You guys take care.